Hello, welcome back to another episode of Healing One Square at a Time, a healing bingo board journey. I am really excited to be here today for another episode to do something a little different than my other episodes and to talk about a huge milestone. I have completed 6 months of this healing journey. So when I say that, I am not in the space that I expected myself to be in at all. I've been journaling every single day since day one of deciding to focus on myself, really choose me, and to learn how to really give myself the love that I've been wanting from others. So I hit 180 days yesterday. Super exciting. But then I realized it's been 6 months and I did not do a lot of the activities that I wanted to do on my healing bingo board. Life has gotten in the way. I made some mistakes. I slipped up. I did this and that. And I was just kind of criticizing myself. Instead of taking the time to just slow down and see where I was 6 months ago, I had to scroll back through some of my old journal posts and I looked and I saw so much growth in just 6 months. It is so easy for us to get caught up and say all of the accomplishments we haven't accomplished yet, all of the goals we haven't reached, everything we have not done yet, rather than just allowing ourselves to be here in this moment. So what I realized in the last 6 months, I've made a ton of progress. I've set a lot of boundaries that before were really scary for me to set because I was so much of a people pleaser. So I've done a lot of work to hold myself to that boundary, which has only increased my feelings of my sense of worth, which has been a really incredible journey. Also, I put myself in so many scenarios that I wouldn't have put myself in before that have scared me, but challenged me and helped me to grow as well. And I look back at some of my early journal entries when I was so upset, so beside myself, didn't want to do this journey at all. And then to see where I'm at right now and to feel so confident in myself and to feel so sure of myself and to truly love being in my own presence and loving myself for who I am in this moment is so much further than I was 6 months ago. And so yes, maybe I haven't completed all of the activities on my healing bingo board in the last 6 months. And I can let myself be a little bit disappointed about that. And maybe I also didn't have this as the most straight, linear journey. Maybe I've made some mistakes. But with every single setback, there was always a lesson learned. And that lesson learned has propelled me forward. And every single day for the past 6 months, I have chosen myself. And with every single day, it's gotten a little bit easier to choose myself. It's gotten a little bit easier to show up for myself and to say, I'm not going to do this activity anymore. That felt good at that moment, but it doesn't feel good anymore. So I'm going to trust myself. And I've leaned into listening to myself more than I ever have. And so yesterday for me, I was feeling tired, exhausted. Charlotte has not been sleeping well at all. And so I took the day for myself. I didn't work. I didn't do anything that required some real big physical labor from me other than going for a run, which is so healing for me anyway. But I just took that space for myself and I allowed myself to just have a day to relax. And I didn't need another person there with me. I went for that run because I opened up my mailbox and I saw a divorce certificate. I had been waiting 2 whole years for that divorce certificate to finally come into the mail. After this long process of the mediation in the courts, I opened up this paper and I could feel my body go completely still. And I just felt tears coming down my face. I let myself feel the sadness from the past, grieving the fact that I'm a single mom. This is never what I wanted, allowing myself to feel that. But then I allowed myself to release the pain and I went for a run, which is one of my most healing activities. I went for a run and I felt the happiness and the confidence overcome me. And halfway through my run, my headphones ended up dying. Oh my gosh, like the worst timing, come on, because I hate running without my headphones. But you know what it did? It actually gave me an opportunity to talk positively to myself more than I typically do in a run. because I usually let the music inspire me and motivate me. And that's what gets me to run faster when I'm listening to a upbeat song. But instead, I used myself and I talked positively to myself. I encouraged myself. And I realized just how incredible and unstoppable I really am. And I realized that this was just almost like a metaphor for this journey, that I don't need anybody else to validate me. I don't need anybody else to tell me how incredible I am, or to pour love into me, or to make me whole. I am whole on my own. And I am incredible on my own. Other people, other situations, that lifts me up. That brings me higher, just like the music. But without it, I am still worthy. And I spent the rest of the day on my own, and I have never felt so happy in my own presence. So yeah, maybe the past 6 months wasn't a completely linear path. I look back at the person that I continued to let into my life when I shouldn't have. But I look back at how I still was learning how to be okay with myself, being okay with being by myself. And I had to give myself grace. There was so many situations that have happened over the last 6 months that have been out of my control. And my therapist reminded me, sometimes we take actions just to help us to survive. We take different actions when we're thriving. And for a while over the past 6 months, I've been simply trying to survive. And so I was taking actions to help me to stay alive, to keep me in that survival mode. And no, that's not necessarily the best thing to do for yourself, but sometimes that's what you need. And it doesn't make you a failure. And it doesn't mean that you need to stay in that comfort zone, but it's about asking yourself, am I doing this to keep me safe? Is that the only reason I'm allowing myself to stay in this position? And when I really reflected, I was making decisions, even though I was choosing to be courageous and brave and bold on this journey, I was making decisions to keep me safe. And I realized that by trusting myself, getting quiet, and listening to my inner voice, that what I actually really needed was to fully close that door. Not just somewhat have it open and let that person open it when they wanted to and maybe say yes, maybe say no, feel proud of myself, second guess myself. No. But it took me time. I wasn't ready to close that door. And then one day I finally was. A couple months ago, I closed that door for sure. And I'm finally able to say that I am on this journey now of fully focusing on Ivy and giving myself what I need and setting those boundaries and stop people pleasing and allowing myself to feel completely whole on my own. And it has been the most beautiful experience. So again, I have not finished my entire bingo boards, and that's okay. The one thing I've realized about this journey is that it is a lifelong process. Yes, I put 6 months on it because it felt good. I'm a goal-oriented person. You give me 6 months, I'm gonna do it in 2, right? So for me, this is kind of hard to say, oh, I didn't accomplish that goal in 6 months, but I'm giving myself grace because I know that healing does not happen in a vacuum. Even if I did complete every single activity on my healing bingo board in 6 months, I still would have had to continue to heal. It wouldn't have just been like, check mark, we're done, we're good. I would have continued to heal. I would have had to continue to journal, to continue to dance and move my body and challenge myself to try new activities. I would have needed to continue all of those activities anyway, because healing doesn't just stop. It will look different over time and you might need more or less, but it doesn't just stop because you've hit a benchmark, you've hit a length of time. So I think the most valuable lesson I've learned in this entire process is to not put a time limit on your healing journey because it's a lifelong process and that's okay. For many of us type A people who want that instant gratification, that's probably really frustrating to hear. But you build in your resilience with every single day. And so the healing journey gets easier over time, where you don't need to engage in as many healing activities to help you to feel whole because you've already done the work to feel whole on your own. And so this is probably going to be a year-long journey or maybe even longer. But what I am going to do, and that's most important, is listen to myself and listen to what I need. And I know right now I need some more time. I need some more time to fully be on this healing journey. And I think that's the most beautiful part of this entire experience is I've really learned to listen to myself. And I found happiness and I found joy and I found light in this past 6 months. In these past 6 months, I would have never experienced it to go the way that it did, but it's gone this way. And I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and I'm growing. And so don't see your past experiences or your setbacks as 10 steps back. See it as lessons, a new lesson that's helping to propel you forward to help you through the next experience. So I'm not going to be perfect. The next 6 months of my life, the next 2 weeks, the next 20 minutes, it's not going to be a linear path, but that's not the expectation. The expectation is to show up being authentically you, do what feels right, get quiet and listen to your inner voice that's guiding you, and do what you need, do what feels right for you. And I'm so proud of myself for where I am 6 months later. I cannot even believe it's been 6 months. It's felt like I've lived 10 years in the last 6 months, but to be able to fully spend a full day not feeling lonely, not needing somebody else, and just ending my day yesterday feeling so incredible about myself. It's really how I felt, 5 years ago when I really was on my healing journey before my mom got sick. That's the whole purpose of this healing journey, is to replace that void that I was feeling, to fill it with myself. I was seeking out that void to be filled in every single other person and never filling it for myself. And so that is what this journey is about. I accomplished that, and I'm going to have to keep accomplishing that because I'm going to feel that void, and I'm going to have to keep filling it with the love from myself. And so I'm just on a high. I am so proud of myself for reaching 6 months, and I just cannot wait to see what comes next. Just like when I started journaling 6 months ago, I was so excited to see where I was going to be in 2 months, in a week. And now being here at 6 months, it's just incredible. So I'm grateful that I've learned that it is not a linear process, and it is okay to take longer than you expected, especially for those type A people out there. It is okay. You are not a failure. You are on your timeline. You are healing. You are growing. Be patient with yourself because you're turning into the most beautiful version of yourself. And I'm so proud of you that you choose to choose yourself in even the smallest ways. You choose to choose yourself. And that's what I'm doing for myself too. Oh, I could get emotional. I'm so happy. All right. As per tradition, I'm going to choose a quote from my little quote jar. So these are all affirmations that I've written while I'm journaling. So let's see what I got today. It says, "Some days are hard. Sit in the hard, but have hope for a better tomorrow." Some days are hard. Sit in that hard, but have hope for a better tomorrow. Whew, that is beautiful. And so aligned with what we were just talking about. That's what I love about this quote jar, is that the quotes align with where we're at. I allowed myself to sit in the hard yesterday. I was disappointed that I'd met 6 months and I wasn't where I wanted to be at 6 months, where I envisioned myself to be when I first started journaling and started this healing process. I'm not there. And I let myself sit in the hard. With getting the divorce certificate, I let myself cry. I let myself sit in the hard. But then I had hope. I said to myself on my run, I said to myself, I've gone through so much, but there is only so much more and so many more better things to come my way. And that is the hope that keeps us going. Having that hope is so important. It's so easy to feel hopeless, but that hopeless mindset really dictates what's going to happen next for you. And so hold on to that hope. Even if it's the smallest little morsel of hope, hold on to it with everything you have. You'll have those negative thoughts. You'll have those fears. You'll have those limiting beliefs. But also remind yourself that there is beauty ahead. And if you really can't believe it, I challenge you to look back at another situation in your life that you felt how you do right now, that you felt hopeless, that you felt unsure, that you didn't think you were going to make it through, and then you did. And then think about all the beautiful moments in your life that have happened between that really challenging time and a challenging time that you're going through right now. I can guarantee you there's at least a couple of beautiful moments. And if you really can't think of any, Think about the fact that you've been given the chance to wake up every day. You've been given the chance to talk to your loved ones. You've been given a chance to eat food or move your body. Those are all really beautiful moments. And so hold on to hope. Sometimes we dismiss those small, beautiful moments, but they matter. They're important. They're part of our story. They make us who we are. So know that there is so much beauty on the horizon for you. You just have to hold on to hope and believe it. You have to believe it, because it's that little bit of hope that helped to shift my mindset of being sad and disappointed and kind of full of regret to saying, you know what? You've been working hard. Give yourself grace. Be proud of yourself. Here are all the things you couldn't do 6 months ago that you're doing today, and you are only going to accomplish more. That hopeful mindset is what's allowing me to be talking to you all today with a huge smile that I can't get off my face, because I'm just so proud of myself. So have that hope. Have the sadness, have the regret, have the frustration. Sit in the hard. Sit in the hard. But don't stay there. Don't allow yourself to stay there. Allow yourself to see the beauty of tomorrow and the growth of the past and the growth of today. Don't stay in that negativity. Don't stay in that hopelessness mindset. There is hope. There's always light. And if you really can't believe it, look at me. I went from a space, if you look at my first journal entry, I was hopeless AF. And now I am more hopeful than I could have ever imagined. Stay with me on this journey. It's going to be okay. You're going to see the other side. Sit in the hard, but also know there's beauty. And you're worthy of that beauty, because you are beautiful. So thanks for joining me on another episode of Healing One Square at a Time, a healing bingo board journey. I hope you enjoyed my message today, and I hope you're celebrating yourself today as well. Find small moments to celebrate just how far you've come over the last 6 months or week or 2 years, however long. You are doing something right now that your past self would be thanking you for, and you deserve to be celebrated. You deserve to have the same smile that I have right now. I'm sending you love. Keep healing and start your healing bingo board. What are you waiting for?